This is Louiz here, and I'm very happy to be chatting with Aditya and for the program, of course, Stalwarts of Music. And I'm here in Bangalore with my Matrix Quartet featuring Gino Banks, drums, Sheldon De Silva, and Sanjay Veera on guitar. Very excited to play in Bangalore. Yeah, one of my favorite cities of India, really. Yeah. And playing here takes me back many, many years, and we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Banks.
Hey.
Welcome to Stalwarts of Music with Aditya Veera, Season 3. It's such an incredible privilege to have you on the show as part of this live format that we're doing in Bengaluru.
Great, yeah.
What brings you here, if I may ask?
Music.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here in Bangalore, very excited
Mm-hmm.
to play for the Bangalore audience,
Okay.
which is for me, they're a great jazz-loving audience, really. Yeah, I've always enjoyed playing over here, and this time I'm bringing my jazz quartet.
Mm.
Yeah, first time performing in Bangalore with
Okay.
this quartet,
Okay.
and of course I have my favorite musicians playing:
Mm-hmm.
Gino Banks, Sheldon De Silva, Sanjay Veera, and just looking forward to playing tonight.
Well, I can't wait to come watch you at Koramangala in the evening, and I believe this is going to be the first time I'll get to watch you.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope not the last time.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to be mesmerized by what I've heard from
Wow.
several generations
Okay, great.
about
Wow,
you.
That's
So
nice.
I can't wait to experience the Matrix Quartet.
Great.
So let's turn the clock back, go down memory lane, and then I wanted to understand in a country like India, back in the day, I'm talking about the 70s, right? A lot of cities had jazz music going on. You had Calcutta, you had Darjeeling, several other parts had, jazz music. But again, it was a minority, right? If I were to say.
Yes.
And you brought to life this form of music in R.D. Burman's music, Bapida's music, and the tradition has been kept alive by someone like you. So I wanted to understand as to how did you bridge the cultural gap for Indian audiences by playing this music?
Well, going up to Darjeeling, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, then my beginnings, of course, is learning music with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the rudiments of music, which was classical music in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, I sort of got a solid background in music,
Okay.
theory and practice, which I utilized later on in my experiments with other forms of music. But with dad, it was just strictly classical music.
Okay.
Yeah, and learning everything about music and practicing hard. Yeah, and getting hit on the fingers, played a wrong note. Dad was one of those, yeah, very strict,
taskmaster.
very strict taskmaster. Yeah, but of course it helped me. But that carried on for a while. Yeah, I was still young. Of course, we're talking about what? Oh, going back late 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. That carried on for a while. Yeah, and my dad, he had a band, of
Okay.
course, and it was dance band.
Okay.
Because there was a club in Darjeeling, yeah, which catered to people to come and spend an evening of drinking and dancing, yeah. And so there's always a band there.
Yeah.
And my father used to play. He had a band, yeah.
Yeah.
And he played there. And I was a young boy, of course, but he allowed me to come and listen, yeah, quietly, yeah. Eventually, he said, "Why don't you sit in with the band? I think you can manage somehow." So at that time, I was learning piano
Okay.
as well as trumpet.
Okay.
Because my father was predominantly a trumpet player, really,
Okay.
and one of the best in India, really. And so he could play trumpet and he could play piano. So I learned the game, piano and trumpet.
Yeah.
So we exchanged roles, me on piano, father on trumpet,
Yeah.
me on trumpet, father on piano. So that was a good experience, really, and I learned a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Being with professional musicians
Right.
and learning the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. To read music properly.
Yeah.
And so that was Darjeeling in the beginning, yeah, with my dad. And that, of course, triggered my fascination for jazz.
Okay.
And what I liked about jazz is you kind of had a freedom to do what you want
Okay.
within certain boundaries, of course, yeah. But so it was not just playing pop music where every time you play the same thing. And you have to play the same thing, otherwise people will say you're playing wrong.
Yeah.
It's not like that on the CD or whatever, yeah. And so with dad, I got interested in the concept of improvisation.
Okay.
Yeah, and I learned that from dad, and he's saying that was all jazz was all about,
Yeah.
improvisations. Yeah,
Okay.
and so that was the beginning, really, my fascination with jazz, and that helped me all along. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got interested in going from easy to intermediate to difficult and so on, a progression
Yeah.
of learning music and playing music. And Dad, being the strict taskmaster, he would write solos for me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
which I had to learn and play it correctly
Yeah.
with the band. So, but that was a great learning experience. Really,
Mm-hmm.
really grateful for that. Yeah, that kind of beginning that many youngsters don't have get a chance. Yeah, I'm lucky to have that experience. Yeah, and so that was the beginning, right in the late 50s, 60s,
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
Um, till I got into my own, and I first heard classical music improvisation, Indian classical music,
Okay.
with a band that had come to perform, and I already had a band
Mm-hmm.
playing Western music, totally Western music, yeah. I said, wow, this sounds very exciting.
Okay.
I felt the way she improvised and all those lines coming out
Yeah.
sounded like jazz to me, you know,
Okay.
in a different funny way. But, and I got an idea at that time. Suppose I use this kind of improvisation in jazz,
Okay.
how will it sound?
Mm.
And I approached her,
Okay.
Mamuni.
All right.
I said, I'm totally fascinated by your singing. It's amazing what you do. And would you like to collaborate with me
Mm-hmm.
with your Carnatic music and my jazz?
Yeah.
And I play jazz lines and all that, and you improvise Carnatic
Mm.
lines.
Mm.
She was excited. She said, yeah, sure. So that was the beginning of Sangam.
Mm.
The name came much later,
Okay.
but that was the beginning
Yeah.
that triggered our this association of using Indian classical music with jazz.
Nice.
Yeah.
And talking about this from an audience standpoint, how receptive were they maybe during your first concert together? And were they able to relate to these sensibilities?
I don't know if they would relate to it, but it was something very new for them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And because the level of musicianship was quite high.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was not just somebody fooling around and,
Yes.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
serious stuff,
Okay.
worked out, and yeah. So many serious music lovers just loved it. They think, wow, we've never heard anything like it before.
Mhm.
Yeah, great. I hope you guys keep on doing this. Yeah, and
Okay.
giving us this kind of
Motivation.
new stuff in jazz. So we carried on, and I got at that time an invitation to take a fusion band for a European tour.
Mm.
Just there was this guy, Niranjan Javeri, yeah,
Okay.
who was promoting jazz, yeah, and he, in connection with government of India,
Mm-hmm.
who at that time approached him for a form of group that could play a combination of Indian music and Western music
Okay.
and take it around Europe.
Mm.
Yeah. And he approached me, and I said, yeah, I just have the Indian counterpart,
Yeah.
Ramamani,
Okay.
and he said, wow, great. Once you organize your music, get in touch with her,
Mm-hmm.
and let's form a group. Yeah. And that was the beginning of Sangam.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It gives me goosebumps listening to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I wrote compositions
Uh-huh.
and Ramamani improvised on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
and she was so fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
She still is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, today I should be playing stuff with her.
Okay.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. She blew my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and she blew the guys who were listening in Europe.
Yeah.
They were totally floored by
Mm.
her.
Okay.
Oof, they would come after the concert, come to her and ask her to write something on their hand and bow and
Yeah.
bow and
Yeah.
cheek and all. They were so fascinated by what she was doing.
Great.
And for me, still,
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my best fusion bands was Sangha.
Super.
Really,
Yes.
yeah. The musicianship
Mm-hmm.
and the originality
Okay.
in the music, I just love it. Yeah.
Brilliant. You also did mention about the fact that you and your father alternated between instruments, right? You'd play the horn and he'd play piano and then vice versa. If you had to get a little technical and delve a little deeper, what is your process like? Do you think with the piano in mind, or do you think with another instrument of choice you're comfortable with?
It's always piano.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why I gave up the trumpet.
Mm.
Because I could not think on the trumpet.
Okay.
When I played lines and my mind used to go via the piano.
Mm.
I would think of piano lines and then convert it into trumpet and play.
Yeah.
And eventually I said, no, this is not right. I mean, I should be thinking on the trumpet
Mm.
if that is going to be my instrument.
Right.
And I'm thinking piano, converting into trumpet and playing.
Okay.
Yeah. So this process was not good for me,
Mm-hmm.
and we just, I just said, no, trumpet is not my instrument.
Okay.
I'll concentrate on piano.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn over there. Yeah. And gradually I just stopped playing trumpet. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
And just concentrated on piano.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was my beginning with jazz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, the whole idea of jazz, you'd sown the seeds with the origins of this brilliant group that you spoke about. That being said, why is it important to preserve jazz traditions in a country like India? We already have regional music, we already have traditional music going on. We have so much already in store as audiences, but why should the people of India put in a special effort to preserve jazz traditions?
Yeah. To some, jazz is sort of alien.
Hmm.
The style of improvisation.
Okay.
It doesn't happen in India really.
Yeah.
And I needed to stress on that and say I must try and really project jazz
Yeah.
improvisation, yeah, and let the people hear what a wonderful music this is, yeah, and it was all over the world actually, yeah. Not so much in India, but of course America was where it was
Hmm.
born and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and then Europe also, a lot of jazz was happening. Amazing musicians started playing jazz in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was it. Yeah, I mean, there are other countries where, I don't know, slowly it's sort of spread really.
Yes.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Serious musicians got interested in this form
Okay.
of improvisation, which gave the musician freedom, yeah, to bring out his creativity,
Hmm.
yeah, in ways that was not possible with commercial music.
Got it.
Yeah, couldn't do that.
Mm.
Yeah, commercial music is It's rigid like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a melody, and some melodies have words,
Mm.
and you play it once, then you play it exactly the same way twice,
Yeah.
and it just goes on, and it's sort of stifling for the creative musician. Really.
Yeah.
You can't do anything more. Oh, I can't try something.
Mhm.
People say, oh, but it's not in the record, or
Yeah.
you know this. Yeah, they tell you, yeah, that some people just bluntly say, yeah, you're playing wrong. I mean, it's not there. You're playing wrong. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
All that. Yeah,
Yeah.
all that used to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a challenge. And when jazz appeared,
Mhm.
yeah, and it gave the freedom
Yeah.
to experiment,
Okay.
and the caliber of the music came through in the improvisations.
Got it.
So people of higher caliber played great lines,
Mhm.
and so you could really judge the caliber of musicians
Yeah.
playing this kind of music.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it was great form of music. Yeah, for serious musicians, really.
Okay.
Yeah, so amazing. Yeah,
Nice.
and after 40 years, 50 years that I've been playing it,
Yeah.
I'm still fascinated by it. Yeah, you can't learn enough. Yeah,
Right.
always something new.
Mm.
Whenever I sit
Yeah.
and play the same tune
Mm-hmm.
today, and tomorrow I play the same tune,
Mm-hmm.
I play differently.
Okay.
So this fascinates me. Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah, this is what keeps me going in music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did speak about European jazz, and you spoke about American jazz when you answered the previous question. If I had to ask you, could you point a finger and tell me at a mundane level, how are these philosophies different? European jazz philosophy versus American jazz. You being a seasoned, jazz, musician and a listener, what are these factors that differentiate the two?
European is not really the country for jazz in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally classical music.
Hmm.
Yeah, and even the popular music that they played, what influences the classical music.
Okay.
Yeah, not jazz. Yeah, but then emerged some musicians out of that flock, really, who heard American music,
Hmm.
which is jazz.
Yeah.
They got fascinated by it.
Hmm.
They said, why don't we improvise like that?
Hmm.
Not very classical,
Yeah.
more jazz.
Okay.
Yeah. So the whole bunch of musicians then really appeared on the scene,
Mm-hmm.
and they were amazing musicians because they were classically trained,
Yeah.
and they had fantastic technique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And slowly they went to play amazing jazz. Really.
Okay.
Yeah. So America was spreading its wings, yeah,
Hmm.
to serious musicians all over the world. Slowly
Right.
came to India also. Yeah.
Yes.
It's great.
And you've been a major proponent of expanding the base in our country.
Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
what I'm, yeah.
Yeah.
The little I do, yeah, sure. Great, yeah. I'm a stalwart for jazz, really.
So music has been going on for several generations now, and I believe you'd mentioned 6 generations, right?
Yeah.
And of course, like, you're a stalwart in your own respect, doing it with a lot of hard work, finesse, and passion. So, in what ways is music a necessity for someone like you? What if life were to be void of music?
No, I'll be dead.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
life doesn't exist for me without music,
Without music.
really.
Okay.
It doesn't. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, really. Music is my life.
Mhm.
Really, yeah. And What would I do without music? I don't think. Yeah.
You were a teacher at one point. You're an artist. You paint.
Yeah. Yeah, I do all these things also.
Mm-hmm.
But I am me really when I sit at the piano and play.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing can change that. Yeah.
Right.
And so right now, after all these years, God, how many years? What I'm trying to do is now leave some of my music behind
Okay.
for the next generation.
Okay.
So I'm doing a lot of that now,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, most of my music is handwritten.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not so much into the digitization
Mm.
of music, and I should get into it. I'm trying now.
Okay.
Yeah, slowly.
Mm.
I found a guy, a pianist,
Okay.
who just happened to be a fan of mine,
Mm.
but he's very conversant with today's music programs where you digitize music.
Okay.
So he said, if you want, I'll digitize your music. So he's started doing that,
Okay.
and we're trying to create volumes. We have quite a lot, quite a lot of books actually. Come home,
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
There are a lot of books that I've written here,
Mm.
and it's all random, and some have dates, some don't, and it's their handwritten, so you need somebody to understand what I've written and
Yeah.
properly annotate it,
Correct.
fingerings and all that.
Yeah.
So this guy, Rahul Junjunwala,
Mm-hmm.
is doing that for me.
Okay.
Really, oh God, I'm so thankful. Yeah. And one book, strangely, I just got fascinated with the etudes
Mm.
after playing and learning Chopin and Mozart and all that.
Yeah.
I got fascinated by those exercises that they've written.
Okay.
So I, in my own way, created etudes.
Mm.
Yeah. So in music there are 12 major keys,
Right.
12 minor keys.
Mm-hmm.
So there are this total of 24. So I began work on etudes,
Mm-hmm.
more classical oriented
Yeah.
than jazz,
Mm.
to help people, piano students,
Okay.
as a practice
Mm.
thing regimen, that
Mm-hmm.
they can learn and play
Yeah.
some new music like that. And I finished 24.
Wow.
And Rahul Junjunwala has digitized it,
Okay.
and Anthony Gomes from Furtado's Music
Mm-hmm.
agreed to publish it.
Okay.
So, in the near future, you'll see this on the racks.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Etudes by Louis Banks.
Marvelous. Speaking of etudes, right? You did mention that the notes can sound a certain way, and especially in the classical realm, one can play it a certain way. But if someone were to ask you, give me the Louis Banks flavor when it comes to etudes, what would you do? How would you go about that in the classical realm?
I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just for myself.
Yeah.
And taken a Chopin etude
Mm-hmm.
and analyzed it and created
Yeah.
jazz harmonies on it
Okay.
and jazz chords, and it turned out a jazzy etude
Mm.
written by Chopin
Okay.
and rearranged by Louis.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, just as a experiment.
Okay.
Yeah. No, because it's you shouldn't actually fool around with what Chopin has written or Beethoven has written. What those are sacrosanct,
Yeah.
Yeah. When the classical student hears that,
Mm-hmm.
say, no, 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 what are you doing? You're fooling around with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not
So-
advisable.
That's not advisable.
Mhm.
But for me, just as an experiment,
Yeah.
I said because I found when I was playing the etudes
Mm.
exactly as written by Chopin,
Yeah.
I found that there's scope for jazz chords
Mm.
with the left hand,
Okay.
play the etudes on the right hand and
Yeah.
accompany jazz chords in the left hand.
Okay.
For me, it sounded great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
There's no scope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Music, there's no limit actually.
Mm.
There-
Boundless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, a lot of us might have certain beliefs, some might not. Speaking about reincarnation, right? What would you like for your next life? Would you like it to unfold the same way it has in this one?
I guess so, yeah. I can't think of anything else, yeah.
Okay.
And there's no limit,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's no
Okay.
boundary here.
Right.
From here, then you cannot go further because there's nothing.
Mm.
No, there's no.
Yeah.
You can just go forever
Mm.
depending on your own creativity,
Okay.
knowledge, and all that. You can just go on forever. Yeah, really. So,
In a great deal of contemporary writing and discussions, there are a number of books, where the idea of music is associated with the cosmos, right? And being a musician yourself, where do you see your music and its connection with the universe as a whole?
I can't think beyond Earth, really.
Yeah.
Because where would you take it? I don't know. If there's another Earth somewhere, actually, it's a similar kind of a idea. This is coincidental that a friend of mine who's also
Mm-hmm.
a musician, classical musician from Europe,
Okay.
Alice, she wrote to me and said she wanted my thoughts on life after death.
Mm.
And I couldn't answer that. I said, life after death.
Yeah.
So it was similar to
Correct.
what is life after death?
Mm.
Where do you go from here? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there another Earth somewhere that we haven't discovered yet?
Mm.
And there are people there?
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
it's fascinating actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right on.
But it would be great
Correct.
to learn about that
Mm.
and find out that there is an Earth somewhere,
Yeah.
maybe another term, and there are people there and there's music there.
Mm.
Wow. That would be a revelation actually.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm. So music has been a technique that you've used. So I want to understand what are the philosophies that you have incorporated, ones that were verbalized through books or through any other medium that have guided you as part of this musical endeavor.
No. I don't go that deep.
Okay.
No.
But someone's teachings or something very intriguing that caught your attention that prompted you to work on certain kind of music.
Oh. No, I'm just fascinated by jazz musicians and their creativity.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And a lot of them are very different from each other.
Okay.
Actually, everybody's different, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's emerging from them, their whole training in music and their own creativity and their vision actually to play the music in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of that happening right now, really. And that music is, what is great is that music is available in CDs and, yeah, over the radio and TV and all these. And there's so much music happening right now. It's frightening actually. How do you make yourself heard? Yeah. And it's tough actually. Yeah. When there's just 10 people playing certain kind of music, and it's just that 10 people, and it doesn't go beyond that.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to comprehend and understand. But then it goes into hundreds of musicians playing fantastic music.
Okay.
It's frightening. Yeah. So where do you stand in that?
Yeah. Especially AI coming into the picture, it could pose a threat
Wow.
to
That would be.
the world.
Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow. There's a thing as an AI. Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. But what I love about jazz is it's unending, really. It can just go on forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no limit.
All right.
That's what fascinates me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How does spirituality inform your music?
Oof, I don't know. I'm actually that kind of a person. I'm not religious,
Okay.
but I'm spiritual.
Mm.
Yeah. I think there is a higher being somewhere. Yeah. That's regulating or influencing what's happening on this earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's somehow, I don't know, I cannot understand or comprehend actually how it happens. But well, I think there's a God.
Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere that sort of influences what you do and what you think and yeah, what who you are, determines who you are on this planet. Yeah. But to understand that it's not possible, really. But you just feel that there is a higher being.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
At the time of performance, I'm sure, especially playing a form like jazz or any kind of music, for instance, there's multitasking of attention going on. You have to do a lot on stage. You have to make sure that you're interacting with the audience and, being on time. And a lot of these complex processes are running within you, right?
Correct.
And but at the end of the day, you bring in a lot of grace in terms of these pieces that you put out. So I wanted to understand, what is it that exactly happens? Like, what are your internal processes like at the time of a performance? If we could describe it in simple words.
Well, in jazz, you take a piece and then you experiment. And that's a process that happens every time you play that piece.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you don't repeat. Maybe you repeat some phrases that you yourself are fascinated or you like very much.
Yeah.
And you would like to incorporate that in your improvisation. But it's never the same. Really.
Okay.
Well, that is the thing that really fascinates me about jazz.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you that freedom. Too much freedom, of course, is dangerous also.
Yeah.
And somebody said, and there's no wrong note in jazz.
Mm.
There is no wrong note.
Okay.
Well, to explain that is like it's difficult actually. When you improvise in the classical meaning, there are rigid rules, yeah, that you have to follow.
Mm.
And there is a wrong note there if you use, yeah. If you're playing a C major chord,
Yeah.
and then suddenly you play C sharp, which is a clash with C. Like to the classical musician, say, "Oh God, what is that?" It's wrong.
Okay.
What you're doing is wrong. Not to the jazz musician. That C sharp, he can play it in such a way that it doesn't sound wrong.
Okay.
And jazz allows you that. That's why I love jazz.
It kind of reminded me of this incident that Herbie mentioned online, where he was at a concert with Miles Davis, and he played the wrong note, right? And Miles kind of compliments by, something very similar. So I can totally relate to
Really?
what you're saying right now, because it's an actual incident that's happened in the world of jazz. So it's quite, I can correlate to that.
Who felt it was wrong?
Yeah.
Who felt it was wrong?
No, Herbie felt it was wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
but not Miles.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's very similar to what you said. Yeah. Yeah. In 1981, if I'm not mistaken, Gino Vanelli had put out this album called Night Walker. And in 83, I believe, your third son, Gino Banks, was born. So I wanted to know how or why did you go about naming him after Gino Vanelli, and why was he so important in your life?
Oh. Well, Neil and Andre didn't really get serious about music.
Okay.
Other interested in other things, yeah.
Okay.
And learning and developing their own, yeah. And, but I was hoping that Gino would get into music in a serious way,
Okay.
and it so happened he has.
Right.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that one guy from the Banks family
Mm-hmm.
got very serious about music.
Okay.
Yeah, and this happened to be Gino, and he's doing great. Yeah, we are very proud of him. Yeah. Well, my daughter also is not a musician.
Okay.
Andre is not a musician. Neil he's fascinated by music actually.
Okay. Okay.
He doesn't get down to practicing and
Right.
yeah,
Mm.
but there are so many things you can do without besides music really. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is also very important in life. And Neil and Andre are doing that. Yeah, their own
Okay.
thing. It's great. Yeah. And Gino, of course, decided to just do music.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to get him to learn piano, and he didn't show too much interest. And yeah, it's sort of natural kind of a thing for drumming.
Mm-hmm.
And he remembered everything that we played in Sangam.
Okay.
That when we were doing future shows with Sangam,
Mm-hmm.
I would put Gino on a percussion instrument, and he would remember everything of that tune.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to myself, this guy is going to be a musician. Definitely. Yeah. He's got it in him. Yeah. He's a musician. Gino.
So what are
Serious
some of
one.
the things that you exposed him to when he was a little boy that kind of made him develop his interest in music?
My music only. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Playing at home. Yeah.
Alright.
And asking him to play along with me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to learn piano, but he never showed any interest really
Okay.
on the piano. Yeah. Till now, I don't know, not interested in piano.
Mm.
So I let that be and let him go with what he's really interested in.
Okay.
And that just happened to be drums and percussion instruments that he was fascinated by.
Okay.
Yeah.
What specific incident fascinated him to get
I don't
into
know,
this?
just listening to me and playing along with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Ranjit playing with me, Sivamani playing with me.
Okay.
All that triggered something in his mind. And
Alright.
yes. But he also felt that he needs to learn a lot of things because
Mm-hmm.
what they are playing is very complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he got round to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's so versatile and so into it. Yeah. That he can play the most complex things easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you a taskmaster when you used to play music when you was little?
No, not really.
Like your dad?
No.
No? Very different approach.
Yeah.
If he was a taskmaster, we would have been musicians also.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Yeah.
But Dad used to travel a lot those days.
Okay.
So he used to be a lot of these drum lesson VHS
Uh-huh.
videos from US and things which he used to learn from there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. So could you also discuss about the creative process involving releasing newer versions of your old songs? How do you go about that process?
Play any tune
Yeah.
is different.
Mm-hmm.
Our starting point is for identification is the melody.
Okay.
You have to retain that. Other how do you identify your pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have several pieces,
Right.
so that's for identification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And beyond that is improvisation. Really.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of jazz.
Okay. So I'd like to talk
And
about.
that happens in classical music also.
Really?
Indian classical music. It's like
Okay.
that only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a theme, and after that, then they take off. Really.
Correct.
Percussionist take off, vocalist takes off,
Mm-hmm.
because theme is based on a rag.
Okay.
Yeah. But they are limited by that rag.
Mm.
That's the only difference with jazz and Indian classical music.
Okay.
Indian classical music. Yeah. You have rag, and then you stay with that rag.
Okay.
And so you don't have the scope that Western music or jazz gives you,
Mm-hmm.
where there's no wrong note.
Mm.
But in classical music there is wrong note.
Okay.
Yeah. If you playing a Dorian scale,
Yeah.
what is that in India? In India, yeah. And you stay with that. Right?
Mm. You don't deviate from that.
Otherwise,
Mm.
you'll be criticized.
Yeah. A lot of musicians have different philosophies as band leaders. Right? What is yours as a band leader? Maybe we can drill down to the context of the Matrix Quartet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, what I expect from my musicians actually,
Mm-hmm.
first one, to know the piece that we're going to play,
Okay.
and to know it thoroughly well,
Okay.
so that they can improvise on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's it actually. Yeah, and every time we play, I want to hear new stuff, newer stuff,
Okay.
different stuff from them on the same piece.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not a repeat of what they played
All right.
before. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I look forward to that really,
Okay.
and that is, you get it from musicians who have played a lot,
Mhm.
yeah, who have a lot of creativity in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I enjoy playing with musicians like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course tonight's concert, my favorite musicians really.
Okay.
Yeah, I just Gino and Sheldon are that kind of a musicians, you know, that breed that always surprises me. They surprise me
Mm-hmm.
by playing different kind of improvisations on the same piece that I played yesterday
Okay.
or the day before, and I love that actually. Yeah, because now today what we play is not going to be the same thing that what we played at the rehearsal.
All right.
Yeah, and for that to happen, you have to know the piece properly. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
you have to know the piece inside out actually. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very comfortable with that piece, and then you can take liberties with it. Yeah, and not play a wrong note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fundamental rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but for the people of Bangalore, what is that special song or something special you have planned for people of Bangalore tonight?
That most of it is my compositions, which I want to introduce to the people of Bangalore,
Mm-hmm.
and we are also going to play some jazz standards that
Okay.
they are familiar with,
Okay.
so they enjoy that. In our own way, actually, we would play them.
Yeah.
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 And, but mostly it's the music that I've written. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Any particular pieces that you've carried forward in most of your sets that you'll be playing tonight? Any names that you can mention?
Okay, now what am I going to play? I'm going to play a piece called Head On,
Okay.
and we're going to play a piece called Prayanam
Mm-hmm.
and Shiv Shakti.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So let me indulge you in a little game. I'm going to throw in a couple of names, and you're going to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Right? It can be anything, right? An incident or maybe like an anecdote or anything about the person that you'd like to express in your own style. All right. So first one being Chick Corea.
Oh, wow. One of my favorite pianists and musicians.
Okay.
Really, yeah. He's a pianist and a composer that has influenced me
Uh-huh.
quite a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm really fascinated by what he's written
Mm-hmm.
and what he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then when I heard that Chick Corea was going to come to India, Bombay,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to miss it.
Okay. Okay.
And just so happened
Yeah.
that one point in his concert,
Yeah.
he said, I want somebody to come up and play
Mm.
a duet with me.
Okay.
There was silence actually
Uh-huh.
in the hall, but then somebody said, Louis Banks, Louis Banks.
Okay.
Then the whole crowd said, yes, Louis Banks, Louis Banks.
Right.
So I went.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He said, this. He asked me, what are you going to play? I said, what are you going to play? Anything. There's a thing in jazz when they say, when you don't know what to play the blues.
Mm.
So I said, let's play blues. He said, okay. What key? I said, let's play in G. He said, great. That's how it started. Then we started improvising. Then he took off, and I took off. And God, I had a great time. Wow, sitting next to him.
Yeah.
And him watching my fingers. Oof, it was quite a thing actually. One of the great moments in my life, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And the second one being Shankar Mahadevan.
Oh, yeah, the genius. Shankar Mahadevan started. The first time I heard him was at a jingle that I had composed,
Okay.
and I was telling my friends, saying, God, I need a singer to do this jingle, and it's got a very high range.
Okay.
I want somebody who can do that range.
Yeah.
And somebody said, why don't we use Shankar Mahadevan?
Mm.
He's a very good singer and he's got very good range.
Okay.
So we called him to do a jingle.
Okay.
And his jingle was a oh God. And he came and in 10 minutes he learned that jingle.
Yeah.
And when he sang it, he just transformed that jingle.
Mm.
And I think that year I won the best composer in that jingle. Best singer Shankar Mahadevan.
Okay.
Cadbury's kuch khas hai.
Cadbury's.
Okay.
Yeah, what is it?
Kuch khas hai.
Kuch Khas Hai.
Okay.
It was that jingle.
Alright.
And that became Jingle of the Year also.
Mm.
And that was the beginning of Shankar's association with me.
Okay.
And then after the jingle, I said, wow, I said, God, I really enjoyed that. Fantastic. And I said, I do these jazz fusion things.
Yeah.
Would you like to be part of it? He said, yes, definitely. I'd
Mhm.
love to try some of your things.
Okay.
That's how the association started.
Amazing.
Yeah. And, he's still one of my favorite singers.
Mm.
And that man is just incredible.
Yeah.
What can I say? That concert you're coming July?
Sure. Where?
Oh, but London, sorry.
Is it in
It's in London.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Shankar,
Okay.
Zakir,
Okay.
me,
Alright.
Gino.
Amazing.
Yeah. We're doing 2 concerts in London.
Wow. Where
Yeah.
at?
Halls I don't know, but one is in London and
Royal Festival Hall London.
Leicester.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'll let my friends in London know. They'll come watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be advertised. Yeah.
It's already started.
Already started the advertisement for the
Super.
concerts. Yeah.
Nice.
Shankar, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
That man can sing anything. And such a humble guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Dizzy Gillespie?
Oh, wow. Meeting that legend.
Mm.
I was trembling actually.
Yeah.
It was amazing. God. And he's such a simple guy.
Mm.
Fun loving, every sentence was a joke. Oof. It's amazing. And his it's so happened. I mean, how I don't know. In the scheme of things, how these things happen.
Yeah.
how he met me,
Mm-hmm.
and how he came to India,
Yeah.
and how his pianist could not make it,
Okay.
and how he he was told that there's a pianist in India that might be able to fill in,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
as a pianist. And I was called,
Okay.
and I played the concert with him
Mm-hmm.
without any rehearsal.
Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and I prepared myself by talking to the bass player John Lee,
Yeah.
and I said, "What are all other tunes he's going to play?"
Mm.
I just wrote it down. What are the keys that he's going to play? I was familiar with his music,
Mm-hmm.
but I did some homework myself like that,
Okay.
and I played.
Yeah.
And his appreciation was of my playing was that's all he did.
Speaks little.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just did. That's like that.
All right.
I said, wow,
Yeah.
that was my thing with Dizzy Gillespie, the great.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
So some nice things have happened. God is great.
Yes. What about R.D. Burman, sir?
Oh, that's another story. I'll give it in short.
Yeah.
I was playing in Calcutta
Okay.
in a club called Blue Box,
Okay.
and one fine day, that's why I've got a term for these things happening. I call it divine intervention.
Mm.
With some divine intervention,
Yeah.
things just come together,
Yeah.
and it just so happened that day I was playing with my band,
Yeah.
and somebody walked in
Mm.
whom I didn't know,
Okay.
sat down, and was listening to me
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
And after some time, when we took a break,
Mm-hmm.
and this gentleman was clapping throughout the pieces that we were playing. And when we took a break, one of the waiters came in and said, "What's up? Who wants to talk to you?"
Mm.
I said, "Kaun hai? Who's he?" He said, "He's R.D. Burman."
Mm.
I had no clue who R.D. Burman was.
Right.
Who's R.D. Burman? He's saying a famous music director from Bombay. He wants to talk to you.
Okay.
So I went, and he's saying R.D. Burman shook hands with me, and he just said, "I like your piano playing."
Okay.
I said, "Thank you very much." And immediately he said, "I have a proposition for you."
Mm.
Just like that.
Yeah.
I'm writing music for a film
Mm-hmm.
where the hero of the film plays piano.
Okay.
Whenever in all his moods, sad, happy, he goes to the piano and just expresses himself.
Okay.
So I need a pianist and I want you. He told me, "Will you do it?"
Yeah.
And then I went to Bombay.
Mm.
The date was fixed and all that. And in 1 week, I finished playing all the pieces. Yeah, for that film.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was thrilled. He said he loved it. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, "Why you want to go back to Calcutta? You stay with me.
Mm.
Here, you be my pianist only."
Wow.
And I said, "I cannot because I have a band in Calcutta. I have got responsibilities. I have to go back."
Yeah.
But he said, "Anytime you decide, please, I want to have you in the band."
Okay.
So I went to Calcutta, and it just so happened, divine intervention, that the electrical, the power situation was very bad.
Okay.
Started deteriorating
Mm-hmm.
in Calcutta.
Yeah.
It was so bad that they shut off the power in the night.
Oh no.
And we were playing in Blue Fox. They shut it off,
Oh goodness.
darkness, so we
Yeah.
had to come out on the street and just hang around.
Right.
So these started happening at regular intervals in
Okay.
Calcutta.
Okay.
So I told my wife, I said, this is something, I think this is a calling for me that I should go to R.D. Burman in Bombay.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she also agreed, yes,
Okay.
things are not looking good over here.
Mm-hmm.
Then, at that time, I had, a couple of years ago, I had bought an electric piano,
Okay.
Fender Rhodes, which,
Oh wow. Yeah.
which I was using
Yeah.
with my band.
So you imported it?
I had gone to America and I bought it and I brought it with me.
My goodness.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
And the one with the speaker down
Correct.
and the keyboard on top.
Yeah.
Two big boxes, huge boxes.
Yeah.
And because I could do it because my sister
Mm-hmm.
was working in Air India at that time.
Okay.
And she helped me with this
Okay.
to bring that piano
Alright.
to India.
Right.
So, with these two pianos in these two big boxes, I took the train from Calcutta
Okay.
to Bombay.
Wow.
Oh, the second class, those people were complaining, what is this big thing you brought right in the middle? We can't sit properly and all that.
Okay.
Somehow we managed it, and I came to Bombay, and I contacted R.D. Burman and said, I have come to Bombay. He said, you can join me from tomorrow.
Wow.
That's how it happened.
Beautiful.
I became his favorite pianist, and
Yeah.
things, a lot of lovely things happened. Yeah,
Nice.
he would give me complete freedom actually.
Mm.
All those piano pieces that you hear in that year,
Okay.
he just asked me to play whatever you want to play. He wouldn't write it.
Okay.
So that kind of freedom he gave me. It's
Okay.
great.
Okay.
So good things happened.
Super. In the interest of time, I'd like to come to the last segment of our agenda. This is going to be a rapid fire segment with Louis Banks. So, first question for you, Mr. Banks. What is that one song that always makes you cry?
Milesus.
Fair enough. If you had to put together an all-star jazz band, a dream band, you can pick artists from any era. Who would be in it?
Any era,
Yeah.
anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Oof, wow. Wow. John Patitucci on bass.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course. Miles Davis on trumpet. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Davis on trumpet.
Okay.
And John Coltrane on saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
And who would be on guitar? Gino Banks on drums.
Super.
Shankar Mahadev on vocals.
Okay.
I would definitely love to have Ravamani.
Okay.
That would be a fantastic combination.
Mhm.
Shankar and Ravamani.
Okay.
Wow,
Okay.
something. John McLaughlin.
Okay.
Guitar.
Okay.
Definitely.
Super. And you'd be on keys? And piano?
I'd like to be on piano.
Alright. Super. That's your all-star band. What's your favorite cuisine?
Chinese, He gave me Chinese every day,
Okay.
and I will eat it
Right.
and enjoy it.
Lovely.
Yeah.
One last question for today, Mr. Banks. Down in the distant horizon, what would you like to be remembered as?
As a good human being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
That's it.
Great answer for a closure. This interview will be additionally aired on Big FM Shillong and Azol on the Sunday primetime radio show between 5 to 6 p.m. It will be out on my YouTube channel, Aditya Veera 1994, and it will also be streaming on all major audio platforms.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Mr. Banks. It's been such an
It was
incredible
lovely talking to you.
blessing, honor, and a privilege. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.